At the beginning of the film, a girl named Jillian is shown attending a consultation session with a psychiatrist. Since her younger sister's death, Jillian has suffered severe trauma and has had to regularly take sedatives to calm her mind. The story then moves to a camping area owned by Fred. There, Jillian gets a job offer as a camping counselor. Jillian was recommended by her best friend, Lacey, who has already been working there. After a brief introduction session, Fred explains that Jillian must first pass a test to prove her skills and experience in camping. Hearing that requirement, Jillian looks surprised and a little hesitant because Lacey never told her about the test. Even so, with support from her best friend, Jillian finally agrees to take on the challenge.
Nice camping by yourself on our island.
It's really easy.
While sitting alone on the dock, Jillian is approached by Marty, Fred's son. Marty tells her that a few months earlier, a girl named Brittany failed the solo camping test. On her first night, Brittany got scared and chose to give up. She claims she heard strange voices that made her panic. The story makes Jillian curious.
She didn't get the job, but I'll see you.
Jillian then asks Lacey about the rumor of the haunted island where she will be staying the next day. Reluctantly, Lacey tells her an old story that has been circulating for a long time. 30 years ago, Fred and some of his friends accompanied a group of kids to camp on that island. But the next morning, a child named Janie suddenly disappeared without a trace. Until now, neither Janie nor her body has ever been found. Many people believe Janie's spirit still wanders the island. Hearing the story, Jillian just gives a faint smile. She doesn't believe in anything supernatural. The next morning, before leaving, Jillian is seen taking her sedatives again. Fred then takes her to the island and shows her where to set up her tent. Before leaving, Fred says that Jillian is the last person to take the test because he plans to sell the island soon.
Big camp, so forth. Here in the...
After Fred leaves, Jillian begins her first day alone. She sets up her tent, gathers firewood, cooks some food, then walks around the island until she passes a small river. As she's about to return to her tent, Jillian accidentally finds a doll lying on the ground. She decides to bring the doll back to her tent. After that, Jillian goes to take a bath, but when she comes back, her foot is injured by a tree branch. From a distance, a middle-aged man with a dog is seen sitting in front of Jillian's tent. The man's name is Ray. Ray says he came because he heard someone screaming for help. Jillian immediately denies it and says it wasn't her voice because she feels like she never screamed for help. Seeing the wound on Jillian's foot, Ray offers to treat it. She refuses because she feels uncomfortable with his presence. Ray then says goodbye. But a few moments later, Jillian changes her mind and accepts Ray's offer to go to his boat to get medicine and bandages. Once they arrive at the boat, Jillian asks about the rumor of Janie's ghost. Ray responds casually and says the story is just camp gossip. He says he often fishes in the lake around the island and has never experienced anything strange. Ray also says that if Jillian needs help, she can look for him at the lake.
Stupid dog.
After that, Ray leaves Jillian alone. Night falls. Jillian falls asleep again, and nightmares about her sister haunt her once more. In the dream, she clearly remembers the past when her mother asked her to watch her little sister, but because she was too busy chatting with her friend, she didn't realize that her sister had drowned in the pool. The guilt has continued to haunt Jillian until now. In the middle of her sleep, Jillian suddenly wakes up because she feels like someone is trying to open her tent. She's shocked when she sees that the tent door is already open. Feeling uneasy, Jillian gathers the courage to step outside and check the surroundings. But there is no one outside the tent. Thinking her mind might not be stable, Jillian goes back inside, takes a sedative, and tries to sleep again. The next morning, Jillian is shocked again by an unpleasant sight. All the supplies and food she hung on the tree are scattered on the ground. She's sure someone is messing with her, most likely one of the camp seniors. While cleaning up her things, Jillian accidentally sees a strange figure behind the trees. Her heart starts pounding, and she plans to return to her tent. But suddenly, someone appears from behind and startles her. It turns out to be Marty. He says he came just to make sure Jillian is okay. Still upset, Jillian immediately accuses Marty of ruining her food supplies, but he firmly denies it. Marty says he just arrived shortly before she woke up, so there's no way he did it. He then plans to return to the camp. Before Marty leaves, Jillian tells him that she found a doll not far from her tent. But when she's about to show it to him, the doll is no longer there. She suspects Marty took it. He denies it again and even gives his bag to Jillian to check. Marty thinks Jillian might just be hallucinating. To convince herself that she's still sane, Jillian forces Marty to accompany her to the spot where she first found the doll. On the way, Marty finally tells her the real story about Janie. Back then, his father, Fred, was the camp counselor. Janie had a habit of sleepwalking, and on the night of the incident, she left her tent and walked toward the lake. That night, Fred had made sure the tent door was tightly closed so Janie couldn't get out. The incident left Fred shocked and deeply traumatized. When they arrive at the location, Jillian is sure the doll she found earlier belonged to Janie. Suddenly, she feels like she sees something in the distance. Curious, they move closer and find someone else's tent. Marty tries calling out to the owner, but there is no answer. He then bravely checks inside the tent and finds the same doll Jillian found before.
Come on.
Jillian is shocked and convinced that the owner of that tent is the one who entered her tent last night. Knowing that, Marty forces Jillian to leave the place immediately. But curiosity makes her recklessly step inside the tent. Inside, Jillian is shocked again by the discovery of old photographs. She asks Marty to look at the photos. His face immediately changes, and it is clear he is holding back his emotions. Without saying much, Marty grabs the photos and runs back to Jillian's tent. When they get there, Marty shows the photos, which turn out to be pictures of Janie with her friends about 30 years ago. However, he secretly hides one photo from Jillian. Seeing the same doll in Janie's hands in the photo, Jillian becomes even more convinced that Janie's death is connected to the owner of the strange tent. She plans to report the discovery to Fred, but surprisingly, Marty stops her. His attitude makes Jillian suspicious. She begins to think that maybe Marty is the owner of the tent. Marty finally shows the one photo he had hidden earlier. The photo shows his father with Janie and the other kids. Marty says that the tent most likely belongs to his father. He asks Jillian to keep the discovery a secret and not tell Fred. As Marty once again forces Jillian to return to the base camp, the sound of an engine is suddenly heard from a distance.
Jillian?
It turns out to be Ray. Marty looks surprised to find out that someone else is on his father's island. Ray says he came because he heard Jillian calling for help. Jillian then tells him about the strange tent, the old photos, and someone trying to enter her tent last night. Ray asks them to show him the location of the tent. Marty offers to take Ray there.
Minutes ago when I was coming in, it was like...
Now, I'll show you where the tent is. It's this way.
While waiting for them to return, Jillian tries to find a signal near the lake to contact Lacey, but her attempt still fails. Not long after, she hears Ray shouting her name. Jillian is shocked when she sees Ray's head covered in blood. Ray says someone hit him from behind, and he suspects Marty did it. She doesn't immediately believe him and asks where Marty is. Ray claims he doesn't know where Marty is. He keeps accusing Marty and tells Jillian to leave the island immediately. When she returns to the camping area, Jillian accidentally looks at the photo Marty gave her. From the photo, she realizes that 30 years ago, there were two camp counselors, Fred and Ray. At that moment, she realizes that Ray has been hiding something from her. Jillian starts to worry about Marty's safety. To distract Ray, Jillian purposely plays her phone ringtone and pretends to receive a call from the base camp.
You can? Someone's coming from camp.
To take.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jillian makes Ray believe that help will arrive soon. Her plan works, and Ray says goodbye to treat his wound. Secretly, Jillian follows Ray to his boat. Her suspicion is proven when she sees Ray cleaning fake blood off his head. She continues following the direction of Ray's boat and finally finds out that the owner of the strange tent is Ray. After Ray leaves his tent, Jillian immediately checks inside and finds Marty in a terrible condition.
Marty, are you okay?
Not long after, Ray returns to get the cigarettes he left behind. Luckily, the cigarettes fell in front of the tent, so Ray doesn't go back inside. With the little strength she has left, Jillian tries to drag Marty's body out of that place. Exhausted, she tries to wake him up, but fails. Forced to act quickly, Jillian hides Marty and plans to look for help at the base camp. But bad luck hits her again. Ray's dog finds them and keeps barking non-stop. Jillian panics and tries to make the dog quiet. On the other side, Ray is seen in the middle of the forest, digging a hole with an anxious look on his face. From his movements, it's clear he's looking for something. Not long after, Ray hears his dog barking from another part of the island. Meanwhile, Jillian keeps trying to calm the dog so it won't draw attention. After that, Jillian quickly tries to get help by sending a message to her best friend, Lacey. But just like before, the signal is still a problem. Not wanting to give up, she carefully wraps her phone and swims to the middle of the lake, hoping to get reception. Unfortunately, her attempt still fails. In desperation, Jillian throws her phone as far as she can into the lake, hoping the current will somehow send the emergency message. Jillian then returns to where she left Marty. But what she finds is emptiness. Marty is no longer there. Without her knowing, Ray has found Marty first and taken him back to his tent. Filled with anxiety, Jillian tries using the radio, but still gets no response. Realizing she has no other choice, Jillian decides to act on her own. She uses a flare to attract Ray's attention. It works. Ray finally finds her. Without thinking, Jillian immediately attacks him, but Ray manages to overpower her and knocks her unconscious. Night falls again. Jillian wakes up tied up. In front of her, Ray is holding Janie's doll. Seeing that, Jillian starts to conclude that Janie's death has caused Ray to develop a mental disorder. Back then, Ray and Fred were Janie's counselors. Jillian tries to calm Ray by saying that what happened wasn't entirely their fault. But her words have no effect at all. After listening to everything she says, Ray instead unties her and tells her to walk toward the lake while holding Janie's doll.
Turn around.
From behind, Ray seems to see Janie's figure following them. Ray does all of this to relive his memory of what happened in the past. When they reach the lake, Janie, who was sleepwalking that night, woke up and screamed. That was when Ray hit her until she lost consciousness. He then does the same thing to Jillian. From that moment, the truth is revealed. Ray is the one who killed Janie, but he forgot where he buried her body. He has been desperately searching for Janie's skull because Fred plans to sell the island. Ray is afraid that if Janie's remains are found by someone else, his crime will be exposed and he will end up in prison. When Jillian regains consciousness, she is shocked to realize that Ray plans to bury her alive. She begs him to stop. But as Ray chokes her, his memory suddenly comes back. He remembers the exact location where Janie's body was buried. Ray then leaves Jillian just like that. The next morning, Fred is seen preparing to pick up Jillian. At the same time, Lacey receives Jillian's emergency message. Unfortunately, she doesn't have time to tell Fred about it because he has already left and is far from the dock. Meanwhile, Jillian wakes up again and finds herself on Ray's boat with Janie's skull. Fred, who has arrived on the island, doesn't find Jillian in her tent. He shouts her name repeatedly. Hearing Fred's voice, Ray immediately returns to his tent. While searching for Jillian, Fred is shocked to see a strange tent on his island. He never expected the owner of the tent to be his own old friend. They finally reunite after 25 years. Fred asks why Ray is on the island. Ray answers that he just wanted to camp one last time before the island is sold. Not long after, Fred hears Jillian screaming for help.
Youth. Can't tell you how sorry I was. It's practically sacred.
As Fred reaches for the radio, Ray suddenly hits him from behind and knocks him unconscious. Sensing that something has happened to Fred, Jillian struggles to free herself from her restraints and tries to escape. Realizing it, Ray immediately chases Jillian back to the tent area. Just as Ray is about to finish her off, Jillian manages to stab a piece of metal into his body. Taking advantage of the moment, Jillian escapes using Fred's boat. But another problem comes up because the old boat engine won't start. She then decides to use Marty's boat instead. Unfortunately, Ray catches up and tries to kill Jillian again. With no other choice, Jillian stabs Ray's wound with her finger and hits him with a rock. Fed up with all of Ray's crimes, she grabs an anchor and thrusts it into Ray's mouth until he dies on the spot. At the end of the story, Jillian is shown returning to the base camp with Marty and Ray's dog, with no further explanation about Fred's fate or Marty's father. The film ends.